What's up, everybody? I'm Patrick Hedgecock,
And I'm Braden Sullivan.
and we're talking football. We're going to go over the Eagles and Giants free agency in 2021, getting ready for the 2021 season. I'm going to go first. I'm going to hit a few key free agents, some losses, and the massive contracts that the Giants handed out this year. And then Braden's going to go over the interesting Eagles free agency.
The minor.
Yeah, yeah, not a lot of big signings in the Eagles. So, first player I wanted to go over was Leonard Williams, who we signed a 3-year, $63 million contract. And as a result of that, we had to let Dalvin Tomlinson go. Williams had a career high 11 and a half sacks, 14 tackles for loss, and 30 QB hits last year. A lot of people call this an overpay. A lot of people are saying that, well, it's his contract year. He's clearly going to play better for his contract year. What they don't realize is Williams has been getting production. He had 21 hits in 2015, 19 in 2016, 25, 20, 16. He's consistently getting to the quarterback. He just isn't finishing the job, and he wasn't finishing the job until 2020. 11 and a half sacks is a solid pass rusher, and that's what the Giants needed. They're not going to let him go. And we let Dalvin Tomlinson go as a result of that, who's really a run stopper. We signed Tenny Shelton Feast Mode to replace him, and I think we still have a pretty stout defensive tackle group. So we're going to be fine on the D line, and we're most likely going to draft an edge player to bolster it again, even though our defense was our biggest strength in 2020. So the next signing I want to go over is the Joey Jackson signing. He's a outside cornerback, 3 years, 39 million, another big deal. He has had an above average career so far. He was hurt in 2019, but in every year that was not 2019, he had over a 70 PFF grade, which is just around above average. 60 is around average for PFF. We overpaid for him, but we're paying for a guy who's going to play next to James Bradbury and has cornerback one potential. He has the upside. We paid for a guy that's going to fill our biggest defensive weakness, and we overpaid, sure, but he's going to significantly help our secondary along with all of the pieces that we already have and our amazing defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham. Then my second to last free agency signing that I want to go over is Kenny Golladay, who we signed to a 4-year, $72 million deal. I'm happy that we got our wide receiver one. We overpaid for him as well. We overpaid for everyone, but I'll go over why that's okay right at the end. He had very impressive 2019 stats, leading the league in touchdowns, and he's going to open up the field for every other skill player we have. John Ross, Darius Slayton no longer have the safety shaded to them. They don't have to go against number one corners. Shepard can move back to the slot where he's the most comfortable and can have the most production. And Barkley doesn't have to face a loaded box every single time we run the ball. Finally, we have Kyle Rudolph at 2 years, $12 million. He's a tight end from the Vikings. He has not dropped a pass in 2 years, something that Giants fans are not used to due to the beautiful play of Evan Ingram over his career with the Giants. Rudolph is a great pass blocking tight end and run blocking tight end. He is also a red zone threat, and he's going to help, I think, the 31 ranked red zone offense in the NFL were the Giants last year. So we actually made a ton of great signings. We paid a lot of money, but I think that's okay because the NFL signed, what was it? It was a few $1 billion TV deal, which means the cap is going up, which is why I used to bash Eagles on some restructures that they've done, but I'm realizing that it doesn't matter. The cap is going to go up 20, 30, 40 million over the next few years, and all of these huge overpays are going to become normal contracts. Braden, now to you for the Eagles.
So, first and foremost, I calculated so many things to try and figure out how the Eagles would get out of the cap situation that they had. And in no case, I think they would do it in the ways they did, but they somehow did. So I'll give it to them. First, start off the Carson Wentz trade. A third and a conditional. It's but 3 first round potential picks next year could be incredible, and that is a is an above average move by Howie Roseman. Eagles fans hate Howie Roseman for many things. I think it was a pretty decent move.
I love him. Love Howie Roseman.
Wouldn't get a straight first any other day in time, especially after Carson Wentz's season. But that doesn't matter.
God, how'd that happen?
Cut so many people that we need to cut. Malik Jackson, Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey. I mean, these are just very few people that. I mean, they took up a ton of cap space, which were overpays that we paid for them a long time ago, but they're gone now. And I will say it's not that big of a loss because Sean Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, especially were hurt many, many times. Alshon Jeffrey paid 13 mil average per year. That's a ridiculous amount for one good season. But the cuts are behind and the future's ahead because we signed 3 people and did not pay that much for it. Anthony Harris, 1 year, $5 million deal. That is a steal, one of the best signs of free agency. A ton of people love this signing, and I think you'd agree with me, Patrick. That is hands down one of the best signings.
Yeah, he's a really good safety. Him and Harrison Smith were probably my top 3, top 2 safety duo last year. And you got him for $5 million. It's actually a very rare but impressive move by Howie Roseman. I'll give it to you.
He had an upside potential of going to like 10 million, 11 million per year. That's $6 million we saved on a potential overpay for any other team in the league.
Yeah.
And we also signed Andrew Adams, which I honestly haven't looked into much, but he did play on the Buccaneers and he did win a Super Bowl last year. So
yes.
And we also signed Joe Flacco to a 1 year, $4 million deal.
He's gonna be your starter.
Don't really care much. Jalen Hurts still gonna start, but he's a good backup. He has experience and he also won a Super Bowl, so not too much to worry about.
Yeah, Giants have a lot of signings that I didn't cover because I don't know. We decided to make a splash in free agency this year. We signed a defensive end from the Vikings who's a power rusher. He has pretty decent upside. He's going to be a rotational guy. Reggie Ragland from the Lions, linebacker, probably going to fight Tate Crowder for that linebacker 2 spot. Devontae Booker. A lot of people actually. This is our first free agency signing. He, I think he got paid $6 million over 2 years. Yeah, I think if I'm right. He's not just a running back. He's a special teams guy, and Judge values special teams. He was a special teams coordinator in New England, so that's why he actually got paid more money than he was being paid in Oakland. We signed John Ross, high upside. Everyone knows him. Plagued with injuries. If he's bad, he's the wide receiver 5 on the depth chart, though, so it doesn't matter. Who am I missing? Oh, we signed Zach Fulton, guard or tackle from the Texans. He's going to probably be a backup. I hope that they give the young guys a chance to start at guard, and I really hope they draft a guard, which we'll go over in our next pod. But, yeah, he'll probably be a backup. Who am I missing? We signed a bunch of backups, a bunch of rotational guys, and a lot of depth this year. Gettleman went all out. He does not want to lose his job. But it actually seems like these are moves that will help us in the future. There's some young guys. There's some guys that are going to have significant impact, such as the blocking in the red zone with Kyle Rudolph and the stretching the field with Kenny Golladay. I think the Giants are moving in the right direction. And in all honesty, the Eagles could make a good turnaround. It's all down to Howie Roseman's drafting ability.
I will say, there is still lots of talent on this roster. Just has to be utilized the correct way. There's lots of talent in the NFC East. Wasn't utilized correctly last year. Other than Dak Prescott getting hurt, like there was still tons of talent in the NFC East, which everyone overvalued.
Yeah. NFC East actually could be good next year. Do not mark my words. We could have another what is it now? 7-10 or 8-9 winner. I hate those. I hate that. Ugh. It's disgusting. It does not roll off the tongue like 7-9 and 6-10 did, but we could have another division winner with a losing record. Or we could honestly have a team with 10 or 11 wins. It could happen. NFC East has got a lot of young players. We really only have one good quarterback so far that we know of, but two solid defenses, one stacked offense, and the Philadelphia Eagles, who actually do have a lot of draft capital though. So I believe we've hit everything we wanted to talk about in this podcast. Is that correct, Braden?
All free agency, basically.
Yeah, so tune in next time for our draft podcast where we go over the Giants and Eagles drafts and maybe even like the whole NFC East if we feel like it, post free agency, because that's clearly going to change a few things. Thanks for tuning in. We are talking football, and hope you have a great day.